And y'all don't know what I went through.
Do you have a cart in your hands right now?
Nike Talk was that place that spiraled what you enjoy now.
Anyone who brought a Kobe shoe in, I would clean it for free.
Man, Melo was better than a lot of people in the league.
I saw that. My favorite jersey's that one, the Barkley.
Kobe fours.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 52. This is the Dandon and RJ Machismo podcast. This is Dandon. RJ Machismo cannot be here tonight. He got daddy duties. So tonight we got a returning guest. He is the homie Wole from All Burgundy and Gold Errrythang podcast. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. You could tell you from the area. You said Errrythang real good, man.
Come on, man. From PG County,
I
bro.
know what I'm saying. You could tell. Usually when I have guests on the show, we test them. Test them. All right, once I'll do the intro. I was like, you're listening to All Burgundy and Gold Errrythang, powered by the Urban Sports State and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia, right? So I'll go with that, right? And then I'm like, I'll stop. And I'm like, all right, now this is the test. Hit me with an Errrythang. And then folks struggle. Some folks struggle. And some people got the twang. I'm like, okay, I'm impressed. You're okay, though, because I like you from the area. I know. I can see. I hear it.
Of
That's
course,
why I love
man.
it. I love it.
We like, come on. I never left home, brother.
I know. I love it. I thought you would be sea walking by now, man. Go ahead, man.
Oh, come on, man. Don't make me beat my feet.
I love it. I love it.
All right. So how's everything with the podcast?
Everything's good, man. You know, we keep trucking along. We just dropped the podcast basically today about the odds on the Commanders beating, the Lions. So because the Lions are favored, I'm not sure what the odds are now, but they were favored when we did the show. So just talking about what some of the concerns that the Commanders should have with the Lions and why the Lions are favored over the Commanders. We had Prince Grimes from Bet for the Win, which is kind of affiliated with USA Today. We had him on the show, and he pretty much broke it down for us. But he actually thought that the Commanders would probably win outright anyway. So pretty interesting.
That's cool, man. Yeah. So we definitely we'll talk more about week 2 preview. So yeah. So Wole, he's been a returning guest. He's been he was a Washington football team / Commanders. I want to say insider, but you are affiliated
like
with
reporter.
Reporter. You are a reporter. You know what I mean? So
now I'm part of the people.
Part of the people. That is true. Yeah. So he is part of the people / reporter, and we appreciate you coming on tonight. And then shout out to everybody at Urban Sports Team.
Appreciate you, man.
Me and RJ, big supporters of you guys, and as well as our listeners too. So we want to continue to send our best wishes, keep up the great work. So wanted to take get that out of the way.
I appreciate the flowers, man. That's what I'm saying. I love it.
For sure.
Thank you. Same here, man. Appreciate you too, bro.
All right, man. So we're gonna get down to it. So we want to know, because you've been covering the Commanders with your podcast. So what was your reaction to the Commanders win over the Jaguars? Was that a lucky win, or was the Jaguars just a bad team?
I was at the game with my brother. We're just hanging out watching the game. I thought initially, I was impressed. It was up 14-3. How I looked at the game was Washington, and Ray would probably disagree with me, but I think that Washington left the Commanders, let the Jaguars off the hook, because they should have dominated the game and blew them out. They had them 14-3, and at the NFL, if you let a team in the game, keep them in the game, for some time, they're going to strike, and that's what happened. A lot of people were kind of like ill on Trevor Lawrence. I'm a Trevor Lawrence fan. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a great quarterback. I think he was kind of brainwashed last year with bad coaching. He's actually he has Doug Peterson, so I think he'll be 10 times better. So he made some good throws. Missed some throws too. I think with the Jaguars, if he had completed some certain passes, the Jaguars may have won the game. Also, Etienne dropping that pass, he was wide open. He dropped it himself. But what you do is in a football game, things like that happen. when a team makes a mistake, you got to capitalize, right? So Carson Wentz, you saw the game. Everybody saw the game. Looked good in the beginning. Then he had those two dumb interceptions. One, I would say one was dumb. The other one, I thought that the rookie made a great play. But it was still a pick, needless to say. And he got the low of Carson Wentz. And anything in life, you want to see how a person shows out in a hostile situation, negative situation. How do you bounce back? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, how do you bounce back? It's easy to like fold. You know what I mean? But when you attack it head on and you're not scared of the noise, you want the smoke, then you show who kind of dude you are. And I felt like Carson did that. I think that's what you got to credit. I don't care who you play. Those boys are a lot of first rounders in Jacksonville. They got a lot of first round picks in Jacksonville, high first round picks.
Yeah.
So he came out, that bomb to scary Terry McLaurin was on stride, was on the money. So he deserves credit for that, because that's a clutch pass.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the play to Jahan Doctson to basically win the football game. So to me, when looking at that game, I don't think that they beat a bad Jacksonville. I don't think that Jacksonville is going to be as bad as people think they are. But I do think that if I'm Coach Rivera and company, I'm looking at that game like we should have blew them out because we had them. If it wasn't for like a Curtis Samuel who played well, but if that fumble never happened, I don't think this game is even close. That game is even close. Put it that way.
I agree. I think they would have won at least by maybe 2 touchdowns or maybe like 17, 20 points. The way that the way they were rolling in the first half. I think to your point, like when Curtis Samuel's fumbled that ball before halftime, it blew a lot of steam out of their offense. Kind of and then that's why they were stagnant in the third quarter. And then they had Jacksonville back in the game. So
yeah, it's all about adjustments too. Like we initially, everything was working for Scott Turner and Jack Del Rio, right? Initially, everything was working for him. But Jacksonville made adjustments in the second half. Like they did. They made adjustments in the second half. And Washington, it took them a while to make those adjustments. And therefore, you know what I mean? Jacksonville came back and took the lead. So I think that that's something they do have to review. Everybody's happy, but you got to make those adjustments quicker. You got to anticipate these teams making these adjustments and showing out. Because if I'm a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, I'm like, okay, at least we know we have a coaching staff that can make the appropriate adjustments to get us back in the football game. So it's up to Scott Turner. When something like that happens, you got to make a quicker adjustment, so we won't have a heart attack type of outcome or anything like that, or game.
Facts. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was an exciting game to watch, but like to your point, this should have been a blowout game where they could have just played their backup string, backup.
Should have been.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all good though. So next question for you, Wole. With Carson Wentz having a bounce back fourth quarter, as you were saying, he threw 2, it was costly interceptions, and then he redeemed himself throwing 2 touchdowns to secure the win. So what does he need to do in order for him to have a successful season?
Be Carson. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he's going to throw some interceptions, right? I mean, he's not this whole notion that he throws like a bunch of interceptions. He's not. We've had worse here in DC in terms of interceptions. He's not like that bad of a guy who throws picks. He does turn the football over and fumbles though. Like I think that's what people got to kind of look at him when we come to turn over the football. Like he'll fumble because he holds the ball a lot. He holds the ball for a while. And that's what happened with the interception. He held the ball too long on the first initial interception. If he let it go early, then it would have been better. But to me, just be Carson. Like be a playmaker. You know what I mean? Like Washington made that trade for you and gave you and paid you nice for this 1 year for that. Like for that. That is what it is. It's like be Carson. So be a playmaker, be the guy in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta be that great, but also I would say that, he doesn't have to do all the work because as you can see, they have a boatload of talent and on all phases of that offense. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have to wait for Logan Thomas to get 110%, get 100% because after an ACL, you're not really the same that first initial year, but maybe towards the end of the season, you'll get more of the real Logan Thomas. But you saw the wide receivers. You saw Jahan Doctson, the rookie, who was an exceptional route runner. Like he's scientific with that route running stuff, and you can see it. We all know that Terry McLaurin with the Carson Wentz's type of arm, what we got to see can be dynamic in the sudden play, like the sudden play, the explosive play. We've seen that. We saw what Curtis Samuel can do, man. Like he can be the poor man Debo. You know what I mean? Like he has it. You know what I mean? And he's faster, right? So he can do that in terms of the speed element. There's so much you can do with him. So I'm just saying, like, and finally Scott Turner was able to use Antonio Gibson in the passing game. Fans have been clamoring for this for a while. Like, you got to see this man go one-on-one against a linebacker and dog him. Like, this is what folks knew he could do. Like, folks knew this. So to me, all Carson has to do is be like the facilitator. It's like being a Chris Paul, Magic Johnson, just like, boom, give it to me, give it to him, give it to him. Let them make the play. Don't worry about being special because you don't got to be that special. You know what I mean? Like, understand this about him for himself. Like, he has more talent here in DC, PG, whatever you want to call it, because they play Landover. But yeah, this the DMV. He has more talent in the DMV, right, than he had in Indy. What I mean by in the skill positions, non-running back. Jonathan Taylor is a bad dude, best back, probably the best back in football. But in terms of who you throwing the football to, you can't, like, he has too many weapons. He didn't have that many weapons last year in Indy in terms of passing the football. He didn't.
Yeah. And then, to your point, for me, my opinion, like we haven't had this much of a potent offense since Kirk Cousins, right? Back in 2015, 2016. He had D-Jax, Garcon, Jordan Reed, Chris Thompson, Jamison Crowder.
Oh, so many weapons.
My God. Like, imagine if
Trent Williams,
yeah. A happy Trent Williams before he jetted out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the defense was all right. You know what I mean? I think they just had some bad games where they should have won. So yeah, I mean, a lot of radio, people have been comparing, this team. I mean, we can't be. It's unfair for them because it's only one game, but you can see like a little bit of what's to come, and it's all positive, right? The nice thing is that Carson is spreading the ball around, and that's the scary part. You don't know where it's coming from.
I think that, and the thing that's different from Carson and Kurt is, like, Kurt, like Carson is more of a baller than Kurt is. And no knock on Kurt. I'm not doing a Kirk Cousins hate thing, but it's a fact. Like, he's more of a baller. Like, if you watch the history of Carson Wentz, like, he's trying to get it. He's trying to get it. Like, he's trying to get it. That's sometimes to his detriment, right? But he's trying to get it. Kurt is more conservative to a certain extent, so Carson is about like that pass play, like it could have went left, the play to Jahan, it could have went left, like, you know what I mean? Like, you throwing it out to Jahan Doctson and that type of play, knowing that you're in field goal range. If the cornerback turns around, maybe he picks that off, you know what I mean, on time. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what Carson's about. I'm about to get it. Like, so this is what this difference. The difference is that you got this talent with a dude that is going to give you an opportunity to make a play. Like, he is going to, and sometimes you're going to look at it and be like, damn, what were you thinking of? And sometimes you're going to think like, I'm glad you gave him that chance to make that type play. Because that's the type of dude he is. He's going to give you an opportunity to make a play. And so with that is where it's going to differ from having a Kirk Cousins with that type of weapon, with those weapons, right? Kirk can have those weapons, but it's not going to give you he may not, if it's close, he may not give you that opportunity. Well, with Carson, all you got to show him is a little something. And he's going to let that thing go. So I think for a receiver, if you're a receiver, tight end, you're going to like playing with Carson Wentz because he's going to give you an opportunity to make a big play.
Exactly. And, I think we'll see more of that, hopefully, in the week too. So next question for you, Wole. Antonio Gibson, like you were saying, he had a solid overall game, primarily catching the ball. Has Scott Turner made adjustments to finally use Gibson's strength, such as a receiver in open space?
It looks like it. You know what I mean? Looks like it. I'm happy about it. I just feel like I don't understand the stubbornness. It's something that to me was quite obvious. I think that you should have done this. You could have done this earlier in his career, even as a rookie, because you didn't have that many offensive weapons. But why not utilize what you did have? Like, so you had a running back who played wide receiver in college and who runs a 4-3-4-4. Why not put him in situations that's advantageous to his skill set? Like, he hasn't learned everything about running the football, but he's shown to be, explosive as a running back at times. But when he's not explosive, why not utilize what he can do in the passing game? I mean, earlier on, because fans have been always clamoring about this. They've been asking about this. They've been saying, like, can we get this guy in a mismatch situation in space against linebackers, and put him out wide or something. Finally, he's done it now when he has weapons, which is funny though. He's done it now when they have weapons, but it works though, right? Like now it's a beautiful problem to have, because now you see that the rookie running back Brian Robinson's getting healthier and healthier. Now you have an opportunity to have two dogs. You got a dude who can do it now from the backfield as a runner and in the passing game, and then you guys like the cowbell type of dude in Brian Robinson Jr. who can just give you that thump, right? So there's so many now. There's so many different elements to this offense, you know what I mean, that they have. So I feel like once everything comes to play, this team can be super dynamic. Now it's going to be up to Scott Turner how he can juggle it. But I do think to answer your question, I think he's finally got it. He understands, like, okay, this is it. Like we want to be special. I think he gets it.
I mean, sick reception for like 70, 80 yards for a running back.
For a running back,
know, I haven't seen those stats since like Roy Halou, and that was Chuck down.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
John
Chuck
Beck,
down Wizard.
Chuck down Beck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he broke that record.
Yeah, that was a check down. This is totally different. This dude was doing it in routes. This dude Antonio Gibson was running routes. On Sunday. He was running.
Yep, all the stems of the wide receivers.
And if you look at it, you would think that and it's amazing because when you watch it, come watching, I was like, oh, who is that a wide receiver? Oh, that's Gibson. Like snagging it like that, going on and the sideline doing the toe tap, the toe swag and everything, toe tap swag. I'm like, okay, like this. Oh, he killing. So so to me, it's just that. I guess that's my issue with this coaching staff. I've always had issue. This is the issue I have with this coaching staff. Is this stubbornness? Like I don't get it. Like. And when people call them out on it, it's like, how you don't know more than me? How dare you? But then you do the same thing that people have been clamoring for. And then when you do it, you're successful. And I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't like, isn't the objective on Sundays to win? Like, I don't understand. So it's interesting. It's weird.
Yeah. But and like I said, finally, he's opening up the playbook, designing more plays for Gibson. And he's, like I said, he is dangerous in the open space.
Oh, he's
a nightmare. He's a nightmare for a linebacker, even a cornerback or a safety.
Yep.
You just shrug them off, and and then hopefully with Brian Robinson, I'd suggest to play both of them in the backfield because you don't know so much. You don't know where it's going to be coming.
Yep, so much.
You can flank. Gibson in the slot. And then you got Robinson in the back. Man, there's so many.
So much you can do. You can like you said, you can play both of them. You can flank. You can have both of them in the backfield, and then all of a sudden, like you said, you can like flank them, Gibson in the slot, or you can keep Gibson there, and you can give Gibson the ball. You know what I'm saying? And then have Robinson. There's so much you can do, man.
Exactly.
Like, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So next question for you, Wole. What does a healthy Curtis Samuel benefit for this team that was lacking last year?
Explosiveness. That's what it is. That team, like the quick play ability, the ability to create matchups. He has it. I don't know if folks got to see it. Some misplays, but not by him, but by Carson Wentz, where Curtis Samuel was wide open on some bombs. Like, he could have had over 100 yards easy and a touchdown. Because Carson would check it down to somebody else where Curtis was already streaking ahead. So to me, it's just the quick play ability. It's just there, and you saw what he can do with them shakes, man. The dude got some mean moves, man. He got some mean moves. So you know that what you see when you see it, you're like, okay, I get it now. You just got to keep him healthy. You know what I mean? And it's hard for me. I'm a Michigan fan, so it's hard for me to give Ohio State folks love. But you just got to keep him You got to keep him healthy. Yeah. I mean, it's wild. Okay, I was telling my brother when we was watching the game together. It's like he was like, "You always hating on Curtis Samuel." Like, nah, I just got to use him a certain way. But I won't lie to him. I won't lie to you. I told him I won't lie to you. oh, he looked way better than he was in Ohio State. Ohio State, they used him that way too, but he looked more elusive to me now than he did back then. He was elusive back then, but he looked more dynamic now. So, we'll see, man. We'll definitely see. But I think if he can stay healthy, they got a problem. But I also like this team is so deep, like at wide receiver too. You know, people like De'Ami Brown, Cam Sims barely played. So it lets you know already, you know, the dudes that we're getting playing time because of what they have, they don't really need to be showcased as much. And, you know, I'm a fan of De'Ami Brown. You know, people kind of, you know, ill on him because, you know, they think, oh, he hasn't produced whatever. I think that with Carson, he could be very effective because Carson, like I said earlier, he lets you make a play. You know what I mean? He lets you make a play. So I just think they have so much talent now. It's up to this team to kind of, you know, it's up to this team to produce. But back to your point about, back to your question about Curtis Samuel, man, you see it. I mean, his movement, his speed brings so much to the table for this offense.
Yeah, and you know, like he had a groin injury last year.
Yeah.
So that's why that really like prohibited him from like making moves. Because every time I think it was like that Atlanta game, like we saw glimpses, and then
Atlanta game was good. You saw glimpses. You did.
Yeah. And then of course he was on the snap count. So I mean, the key to his, like you were saying, is health. Maybe put him in a snap count limit. You know, you don't want to overuse him, like you said, like a Debo type, where Debo was just like towards the end of the season, he was already worn out already, and you don't want to do that. You know, you're like he's like a specialty player, right? Like a Cordell Patterson.
Yes, very compared to Cordell Patterson. Debo, like Debo's stronger, so I can't like that's a different animal. Like that's just a different animal.
Yep.
That boy tough. That's just a different. Debo, it fits his name. That fits him. That name fits him. He is Debo. Curtis is definitely I like that compare. He's definitely like Cordell Patterson. Like, you know, definitely. But it could he if you listen to him, he don't want to be on a pitch count. He want to go out there and ball. But they're just gonna have to be careful. That's all. They just gotta be careful.
Yep.
The rotations, they just gotta be careful. You do have enough wide receivers to do some things that he may not excel in compared to others. Like, still, you know, as a route runner, I think he could be better, but he's still dynamic, you know, because what he can do with that speed, he's fast. He is super fast. Like, he's super fast. So, but you do got wide receivers. Again, if you're looking for speed to spell them, you got De'Ami who runs like a 4.4, 4.3, a 4.4. So you do have receivers who can spell them if you're worried like what you said, want to put them on a pitch count.
For sure. All right, next question for you, Wole. I think, in my opinion, I mean, he's getting a lot of rookie praise. He was nominated the NFC Rookie Rookie Player of the Week. Jahan Doctson, is he good as advertised?
Hell yeah, that man. If you watch him up close, you just like he could have had more yards. Again, that's a dude who could have had more yards. Carson missed him a few times. Going underneath, he had him wide open for like a touchdown for real. He's a surgeon. It's something about like, for me, it's easier to just be fast. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you could just be fast and that's cool. That's great. That's that, it works for you just fast. But when you're a surgeon with that route running, you're a problem, man. And he's a problem. He's a surgeon with that route running, man. He is a serious problem.
He's crazy.
So even if you look at the touchdown pass, the first touchdown pass, look what he did to that corner. Look how he freaked that corner just off the route running alone. Like he got him wide open. He got to a place where Carson can easily throw that pass to him, and he's a dude that can catch contested passes. You know what I'm saying? He's got great hands. So he is definitely as advertised. He is that dude. Like, and I will say this much. Because Scary Terry is amazing, a great receiver. Like he came on the scene looking like a G. But I would say that if we're going off of where somebody was at their rookie year, we're comparing, Jahan's ahead of Terry compared to his rookie year. And I'm just talking in terms of route running. Like it ain't even like Jahan his projection is higher. If we're going from rookie to rookie, and just saying like who's coming in more NFL ready. I think Jahan's more NFL ready than Scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Coming in that time. I'm not saying Jahan is better than Scary Terry. Not saying that. I'm saying if we're going from rookie to rookie, it's different. You see it. Like you see that route running. It's It's crazy, man. It is. It's that good. It's
Yeah.
really that good, man. So
Yeah, and what is he like 5'10", like 5'10", 5'9"?
5'10". Nah, he like 5. He looks taller than 5'9". He like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah,
He's got like maybe 6. He don't look that short to me. I think his frame like him. He's similar to Scary. Terry
yeah,
McLaurin's like 6 foot. He's listed 6 foot.
yeah,
They're about the same. They're about the same.
yeah. Like I mean, I was talking about this. Like he does remind me of Santana Moss, maybe because like the way they play bigger than than their
Yeah,
size.
yeah.
And
He does,
Santana got some good, he got some good route running,
oh
but
yeah, Santana's a beast.
Jahan is just on a different level.
His route running's on a different level. And I will say this, like this is what when you gotta assess him coming out of college. I mean, I'm a Big Ten dude. Big Penn State had no quarterbacks, bro. And he
Yep.
was still getting over 1,000 yards. That lets you know. And he was going against some dudes, man.
Yep.
Like he was going against Ohio State, and Ohio State had first round draft picks at cornerback every year.
Mhm.
He was going against Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Like he was going against some dudes, man.
He was.
And to still get that amount of yards with no quarterback,
Mhm.
that says a lot. As
Yeah.
long as you pass the speed test in terms of the combine to match what you did on Saturdays, he did that. Route running, you could see it. So I mean, he is as advertised. You know what I'm saying? Like again, it's all about staying healthy, man. That's the thing. Stay about and what's good about this wide receiver core is that they all have like they're all elusive in a way. Scary may be the least elusive of them all, but he's still elusive. He's still good at run after catch because he's tough to bring down. If you watch Terry McLaurin run with that football, he's hard to bring down. But like in terms of shakes, Jahan and Samuel probably are the best two with shakes.
Yeah, and then Logan Thomas too. Once he's like fully healthy, because man, like
yeah, he's going to be good. He's a different element for them because he's the guy that can catch the jump ball. That's his thing because he's tall, got great hands, he's reliable.
Yeah.
I would like them to play like Amari Rodgers more. Besides Logan Thomas, I know they're really enamored with Bates, but Bates to me is the other tight end. But to me, Bates is too similar. I like tight ends to be different. Like your two tight ends to be different.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if you're gonna have, because Logan's not a speedster. He's not a speedster.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Logan, who's more of the possession, jump ball type of tight end, right? But get into a zone, find an open space, that type of tight end. That's Logan. Then you need that athletic tight end, like to match with to be the opposite of Logan. That's why I would like Amari Rodgers, or even a kid Turner who's going to get healthy. Like you got to play those two. I'm not the biggest Bates. I know Bates can block. I know that's the thing that he can block. But but Logan can block. You know what I mean? So it's like I like difference. Like if you're going to I want something different because you got two dudes who do the same thing, like not the same thing because Bates isn't as good as Logan, but are like in terms of style, then it doesn't really work to me. You got to have. There's the reason why, like if you look at the New England Patriots, why it worked for them to have a Gronkowski, a bigger burly dude, even though he was athletic, surprisingly athletic, and then have Aaron Hernandez. Like the difference, you see the difference, right? Like one dude was supposed to be more of the blocker in Gronkowski, but he ended up doing both to a certain extent. And then Aaron Hernandez, who's more of the wide receiver tight end clone. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I like that type of dynamic. So we'll see how it works out. But I do think I'm with you, Logan Thomas. Once he gets healthy, that's one added weapon.
Yeah. And I was surprised with Armani Rodgers. Like I didn't know he got burners like that for a tight end.
Yeah, because he was a quarterback in college.
Yeah. I don't know, something about them liking quarterback turned tight end hybrids. I think they like that. Like Jordan Reed was a quarterback too. They like that kind of hybrid.
He had speed. Like like you just like I think his last year Jordan played quarterback most. His last year he played wide receiver. That his last year Florida he played wide receiver and they just moved him to tight end. So the same thing is like when you that's why like Amari, you see the speed, like you saw the burst when he caught it, like you saw there's a different level, like he turned up and he was going. So like you want that, man. I just believe that you want that dynamic. because you don't have it. You have everything. And especially when you look at this team, they like versatility. You could tell, like they like versatility. They like players to do multiple things. So, and they want multiple sets. So, only time will tell. But I like the weapons though. I won't even front. I like the weapons.
Yeah, weapons are good.
Mhm.
All right, so we've been talking about a lot of the offense, Wole. So unfortunately, we got to talk about the defense, which it's been decimated with injuries, and they've been getting like criticism. So we all know that the defense has been a major concern with the depth at D line and linebacker, and with this season injury to Fedarian Mathis. So, in your opinion, should they sign like a big name such as a Lindell Joseph, a Sue, or Sheldon Richardson?
I think definitely they should get one of those individuals for the D tackles position. I agree. I think they should. I'm not a big. They signed Jeter, who played at Michigan, D tackle. Nothing special. I'm a Michigan fan. Ain't nothing special.
Yeah.
Just a young dude, just getting
Yeah.
in the spot. I just feel like this regime likes to do like I know I heard something that they wanted to get somebody younger in here, and I'm like, what is the object? I don't know. What are you trying to do? Like, this is my thing. What is the goal? Right?
Great pressure. Great
No,
pressure.
but that too. But what is the pressure definitely? But what is the overall goal for you on Sunday? Right? It's to win, right?
To win.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you can win with. You're trying to win with 20-year-old players or 25-year-old players who aren't that good, and who probably won't even are not going to even be a starter or won't even or aren't going to be rotation individuals. All right, right. The only reason you're trying to get this kid is because Mathis went down. Mathis wasn't even starting, but because Mathis went down, and Mathis was the second round pick, so Mathis was actually good enough to do some things. Why not get an older player who won't have a problem being a rotationary person who won't, because nobody's trying to call them up to give them a job, so they have no issue with being your backup. Sue is not going to have an issue being your backup. Joseph won't have an issue being your backup. I think McCoy is still out there too. McCoy, yeah, still out there. Won't have an issue being a backup. And these dudes which is something that's very valuable. And I feel like this team they never think about this, which annoys me, is that these are players who have done it before. So if you bring a player who's done it before at a high level and you bring them to your locker room, you don't think that'd be good for the young dudes? I think so. I think it'd be good for the young dudes. It'll teach the young dudes some things, teach them how to do certain things. You know what I mean? So I think they do need to bring a vet in. I think it'd be helpful, and it would help some of those young interior defense tackles. Maybe not, definitely not like even a Jonathan Allen who's been balling, even a Deron Payne who had a good game. If you teach somebody some of the ins and outs of something they don't know, maybe they take their game from this level to this level. Yep. So I think they should. I definitely think they should.
Yeah, and then they are running very thin on the front four, especially like you've had a scare with Jonathan Allen with his groin.
His groin out.
Yeah, it could have been much worse had you had more depth at that line. And
you shouldn't let Tim Settle go. You shouldn't let Tim Settle go or Ioannidis.
He was gone. They left him for like peanuts, pretty much.
Basically.
What's $9 million for $2 million mean to that's nothing.
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy. Yeah, you are. It's crazy. And then the good thing about having a veteran is that you don't have to coach them up. They already know their role. This is the scheme that we're running. This is a 4-3, base defense. This is what we want you to do. You already know what moves. You've been a vet in this league 5, 8, 10 years.
Yep.
And then coach these youngins up. Chase Young up. Motivate them to get back soon.
Yeah. The whole Chase. I feel like this is my thing. There's obviously something wrong. There's a disconnect with coaching and some of these D linemen. There's disconnect. And I know a lot of people want to blame the players. That's fine. Go ahead, go what you want to. But I'm a big believer that, like, I've watched Chase Young at Ohio State. He can do way more than this. And I know, I don't know what y'all teaching this kid, but he can do more than this. He was better than he was better than the Bosa kid Bosa who went to the Niners.
Yep.
And you see how good Bosa is, and he with the Niners. I'm just saying, like, Chase should be that dude, and when he should be that dude. And I'm not blaming. See, I don't blame Chase. I know a lot of people want to. I don't blame Chase. I think that people don't make it advantageous for certain people to be successful.
No.
Got the same issue with Jamin Davis, and everybody's trashing Jamin. And Jack Del Rio came out today and pretty much threw this kid under the bus during his presser, talking about Jameis didn't play well and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, and then the reporter asked him about Jamin playing against, being in situations where he's checking arguably the Jaguars' best wide receiver. Why would you have your linebacker checking the best wide receiver on any play? That's not even advantageous to help. That's not advantageous for Jamin Davis. One, if he's still young and green and trying to be better, and two, there's no linebacker that's checking your best wide receiver. And if you watch that game on Sunday, to even add to that, said, and I'm with wide receiver I'm talking about is Christian Kirk.
Yep.
Christian Kirk was dogging your best cornerbacks. So if he was dogging your best cornerbacks, why would you have him on your linebacker? Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So why you can't take fault in that? So you're gonna throw the kid on the bus, and everybody's gonna jump on Jamin and gonna say like he didn't play good, so it's true and blah blah blah. But I would say this, that there's a reason why. One, Micah Parsons is a beast, but there's a reason why he's even better than he's even at the level he's playing right now. The Dallas Cowboys use him perfectly. They put him everywhere. If he was here, this team would not rotate Micah Parsons the way that the Cowboys do it. The Cowboys have him playing linebacker. They have him playing a defensive end. They have him rotated everywhere. If he came here, you think Micah Parsons would be playing defensive end?
Nope. Not at all. He's
doing what? Yeah, he's not doing that.
Buffalo.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why, so when people when they get on Jamin, and you know what I mean, they get on Jamin. Just ask yourself, is Jamin being used the right way? Just ask yourself.
Yeah, for sure. So I also wanted to ask, with Cam Curl being out, what do you think about Derek Forrest's performance?
Oh, it's amazing, man. This is what a lot of people talked about him, even last season, about, he has potential, and you saw it. It's going to be interesting when Cam Curl comes back, like what they're going to do. Because I don't think that you can say, oh, we're going to bench Bobby McCain and play those two, because they're still totally different. Like they're pretty much the same position, like Forrest and Curl, right? So you don't want to do that. McCain is the guy that has more range. So you want that. You want that in terms of safety, the safety position, a guy who has more range, who can kind of like when these cornerbacks are getting burnt, has an opportunity, not to say he can get it, but he has the opportunity to kind of break a pass up. But I do think that now you have some more versatility. You don't have to. You can ease Cam Curl in. If he's not 100%, there's no need to rush him in.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're looking for the Buffalo nickel, you have a guy who can probably play the Buffalo nickel.
Yep.
In Forrest, or Curl, you can rotate either order. You know what I'm saying? However you feel, because I feel like you got a situation where you got two guys who are versatile, so it does kind of help out. So now the whole concern about Landon Collins and letting him go. Now you got a guy that may be suited to play that position. But if it doesn't work, I mean, but I'm just saying that from game one. It's only one game though. We all gotta pump our brakes. He played well game one. We gotta pump our brakes. So we gotta see what he does in game two.
Yeah.
And if he plays well game two, then we know it's consistent. Like there's a pattern, and then you have to work around that. But yeah, I like what I saw. He was everywhere, man. He got an interception. He was knocking fools out. Man, he was playing fast. He's playing the way you want a defensive player to play.
Yeah, exactly. And then now that he had a good performance, a lot of teams got tape on him now, so of course they're going to be game planning for him. Like, all right, maybe we should try to test him to see if we can try to throw it deep.
Yeah.
See what his coverage skills are like. So,
but the good thing is, I would say, it's the good thing about his situation is, and is that he did go against a Super Bowl winning coach, a guy who has a good offensive mind, who made adjustments, and he was still able to kind of hold his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, like he was going against a younger quarterback, and people use that. But I'm just talking about scheming things up to a point where he wasn't like out of place. I felt like, he was tested. He was tested. He's gonna go against Detroit, and I feel like he'll be all right, because I don't feel like Detroit's gonna test him the same. Nothing against Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff at this point in time may be better than Trevor Lawrence. So, but I do think that Jared, and which is, like, let's just like I'm use a boxing analogy. Styles make fights. You know what I mean? Trevor Lawrence was a worse matchup for Washington compared to Jared Goff, though, because Jared Goff isn't as mobile as Trevor Lawrence, and mobile quarterbacks over the last couple seasons have been bad for Washington. So I think Jared Goff, because he's not as mobile as Trevor Lawrence, may be a easier cover. So I think people like Forrest may do better. Defoe may do better because like the defensive line will probably bring more pressure and make his life more unbearable.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, so now we put week 1 on behind. We can talk about week 2. So Wole, so in your opinion, which players need to step up for this Sunday against Detroit?
I talked about him. I think Jamie needs to step up. You know what I'm saying? Like just to quiet the noise. You know what I'm saying? Because I think like just to quiet the noise, especially what happened today. Jamie needs to step up, especially after Jack Del Rio threw him under the bus. Carson Wentz, guys, keep doing what he's doing. And I think Scott Turner, I'm gonna use him as an individual needs to step up, but not in a bad way. Just so because this is more pressure for him to bring fans back for that game against Philadelphia. So what I mean by that is like try to blow this team out. Like if you can blow this team out, I feel confident to say if you can blow this team out, you may have a rocking FedEx the following week. Like when folks what people have been begging for. If you can blow this team out and get the fan base hope that this could be a special run, early hope, whatever, brings everything. Like you may get a lot of people in attendance because people in Philly are coming down to watch this game, and there's Philly fans out here in this area. So if you can blow out the Lions, then people are going to start saying, "Oh, you know what? This could be something different." Now, now those fans who are hibernating, they coming back out. So I feel like that's they definitely, that's something I feel like I'm gonna put some pressure on Scott Turner to kind of ball out. But also, like I think the most important, the two players need to step up the most would be Kendall Fuller and William Jackson III. I think they need to step up. Their play was atrocious. I don't care. It was atrocious. A lot of people when they can get on Jamin, no, it's not Jamin. Those two were bad. Like Fuller was bad. Fuller was the worst out of everybody on Sunday. But William Jackson III wasn't good either. Like if you want to be a problem in the NFC East and things will open up because Dak got hurt, you got to play better cornerback play. I think I read something that Ron Rivera was happy with their play. No, that was trash. Like you got to be better if you want to be what you want to be. Like I feel like everybody competes at a sport to win the championship. If you ain't competing for a championship, you're a loser. So if you want to be a winner, if you want to win a championship, they got to be better.
Sure. Yeah, they definitely got to step up. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can't think anyone else. Yeah, both cornerbacks, Jamin, Carson, and then play calling too. They got to continue to step that up, open it up. Jack Del Rio, he was aggressive in the
he
first
deserves
half.
pressure. Yeah, he needs. Yeah. Actually, the pressure's on him. I didn't want that. That's number 2. That's number 2 for me. Like the pressure's on him because your play calling, your defensive play calling has to be better. You gotta look, man. You gotta be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a dog. Like you can't. I think like I said this. I was talking to somebody. I think I was talking to Lake Lewis, who's the Sports Journey. Like you gotta. If you're a defense, you gotta dictate. If you want to be a dominant defense, you dictate. You got to stop letting offenses dictate to you. Like you got to dictate everything. Like you have to. You have to say, "Hey, you're going to do this. All right, you're going to do this. We're going to make you do this." You know what I'm saying? We're going to make you go there one-on-one. You can't stop having to a point where you're defensive. Like you're the defense and you're defensive. You know what I mean? No, you got to be attacking. Like if you want to be a stud, like I mentioned, I tweet this all the time. I at Ron Rivera. People laugh at me. Some people laugh at me. I'll put Greg. I'm like, hey, Greg Williams is still out here. All right. Greg Williams I even tweeted today, Greg Williams would instill confidence in Jamin Davis. Jamin Davis would be be amazing under Greg Williams.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like this dude, like, so I'm saying, like, And this is what I'm saying is that when I use Greg Williams as an example, it's saying like, hey, Jack Del Rio, yo, be aggressive. Like, yo, treat your dudes like dogs, like they're ready to go out there and eat. You're not doing that. You're playing passive. It's like you play this bend but don't break. Bend but don't break defenses break. That's what happens, right? They bend, and eventually what happens, they break. That's what those defenses are, lack of a better term, are soft as you know what. All right. Those defenses, they're not defenses. Because again, when you think of defense, you think of what? Physicality, right?
Yep.
You think of defense, right? It's physical. It's bully ball. It's like, I'm gonna put you down. That's when you think about it. When you think defense, that term, that's what you think about. All those adjectives. That's what you think of. This team, when they play defense, is none of that. You don't think of toughness. You don't think about bully ball. You don't think about aggression. What you think about is, hey, passive. Okay, we're not giving up a touchdown. We're okay. Let's just try to give up 3 points. Nah. When you want to be a dominant defense, you're greedy.
Yep.
You're not saying, you're not saying, hey, I'm trying to stop you. Nah, if you're a dominant defense, but you're trying to say, you know what? I'm trying to take this ball. I'm trying to score. I'm trying to score. That's the difference. This defense don't have that. You know what I mean? Jack Del Rio don't got that. He don't got that dog in him. That's the difference. That's the difference with this defense. That's the problem with this defense.
Yep. I mean, his job is on the line pretty much.
Oh yeah, it should be. It should be. He shouldn't have
first
had his job.
Yeah.
He should be fired. Like I get it. Like, I'm fair. Like, I am fair. Like, I don't want to say he shouldn't have his job. Year one, they were a top 3, top 5 defense, right? So I'm fair. Like, that's one. So it's year one. You could say whatever, schedule, quarterbacks they play, whatever. Still top 5 defense. All right. Year 2 was atrocious. All right. Year 2 was atrocious. It was definitely you went backwards. Year 3 is the year. We're being fair, right? It's the year. Game 1 wasn't pretty to me. I don't care what you try to tell me. I don't care what you spilled to me. I don't care what you try to throw at me. Game 1 wasn't pretty. Got about 5 more games, bro. You got like 3. No, not 5. Excuse me. 1. You have 4 more games to prove to me what you are. 4 more games. If you're consistent to what you are again, then I don't got no shame. I don't care who. If I'm Rob Rivera, your defensive minded coach, if you want it, you are able, in my opinion, because you are a defensive minded coach. If you want to say, hey, I'll bring in somebody else, or you can just fire this dude and I'll run it, do it.
I have more confidence in Ron Rivera running a defense right now.
Me too. And you know what bothers me about Rivera? Like, what bothers me about, go back and watch a Rivera Carolina defense and watch the defense they play. They don't even run the same stuff.
Yep.
They used to they used to do these A-gap blitzes all the time with Rivera and Carolina, like where you would see Luke Kuechly and Davis basically in between the D tackles, and they would act like they about to go blitz you or jump back out in coverage. They do that often. They would do that often. You don't even see this with this unit.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't even run the Carolina stuff like that. So I'm just saying, like, we'll see. But if I'm Coach Rivera, if he starts off slow, I'm a defensive minded coach. I'll let you go. If he was an offensive minded coach, it'd be different.
Yep.
But he's not. Rivera is a defensive minded coach. If he's struggling, he's not finishing this season.
No, he's not. And the good thing about this team this year, Wole, is that they got enough offense to win games, enough points.
Yeah.
My fear is you don't know how this defense is gonna stop other teams. Like, do we have enough points do we have to score 30, 40 points a game? Well,
this is the problem though. Like, you're right. This offense is good enough, but you also got to look at it like you got a quarterback. Again, I said I like Carson, so this is not a knock on Carson. I'm just being factual. Carson at times can turn. I'm not saying throw interceptions. He can turn the football over. All right, that doesn't always mean interceptions, folks. He can turn the football over. That he can fumble because Carson tends to hold. I said this. He holds the ball. He can hold the ball, and then a D lineman can strip him, right? Because he won't be aware.
Right.
Is the defense good enough to stop him? No. So if you give these defenses other offenses extra opportunities to score, they'll probably do it against the defense, right? So even if you score a lot, you may not be good enough to still overcome this bad defense because they're not good enough to stop people in short fields. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you'll score. You could score. This team could score, but if you what happened on Sunday, they turned the ball over 3 times. 3 times. Jackson turned it over once, but that was the last play of the stupid bomb that Trevor Lawrence threw at the end of the game. But basically, they were up. Like Washington was up and they had 3 turnovers and they were still up. You know what I mean? Against a better team, that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It's what happened. So I'm just saying that this defense got to be better because this offense will put you. If this offense is gonna turn the football over, let's say not 3, but say turn the football over like twice, because quarterbacks throw 2 interceptions. That happens. They may throw 4 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. But a lot of those sad teams, their defenses are a lot better, so they can kind of hold at a 3 points. So you may not even score at all. But you can't say this about this defense. If you turn the football over with this defense, can you honestly objectively say that this defense is going to shut that offense down? No, you're not going to say that.
Yeah, to be continued. So, I appreciate your time, Wole. So I got one last question for you. So what's your prediction for the Commanders-Lions game this Sunday?
Oh, man, I got the Commanders winning. I said this on Allberg and Go Errrythang. I have them winning. I have them 31-24. You know what I mean? 31-24. Yeah, close game. They're on the road. They're going to Detroit. I think Detroit is. Detroit be beating Washington on the low.
Look what happened last, a few years ago.
With Chase. Yeah, I know when Chase had that.
Good
God.
Yeah.
So Detroit be beating Washington, man. I know if you don't want to hear, they be beating Washington on the low. But I think that this offense is dynamic enough. So I'm gonna say 31-24. But I'm hoping, man. I'm being real. I'm hoping that they blow them out. Like if they blow them out, I really believe it. You know what I'm saying? I want your listeners to hear me. You know what I'm saying? If they blow them out, I feel like FedEx gonna be rocking week 3. I'm telling you, you'll get the hibernated fans back. You know what I mean? Like they just want a winner, man. They just want to, and not like they want a consistent winner. They don't want no fake winner. They don't want no 7-9, 7-10 type winner. They want a winner. They want a winner that was like, all right, hey, we here. We saw it in 2012, man. We saw it even when Kirk was there. We saw it when they won some games, like 9-7. You saw more 2012. I mean, we're not gonna lie, but that was different though. That was different. That was different. That was folks thought they had like the Messiah. You know what I mean? Like that was different. Kirk, but you saw with Kirk too, because they felt like, you know what, this offense is, like you mentioned, this offense is potent, they dangerous, and we can shock some folks. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, like I'm telling you, if Carson goes into Detroit and like looks like MVP Carson looking like that dude, Jahan Doctson looking like rookie of the year, Scary looking like one of the top 5 receivers in the game, Curtis Samuel looks like one of the best versatile receivers in football. Man, I'm telling you, they coming out week 3.
And I'm sorry, week 3 that's a national game, right?
That's a
Monday night. Is it Monday night game? No, it's Sunday night.
I don't think it. I'm not Monday night.
It's not televised. I don't think.
I mean, actually, I can check that now. I thought that was a regular. I could be wrong though. I thought it was a regular game. Hold on, I can check that Commanders Eagles game. But yeah, I thought that was a regular.
Yeah, regular game. Yeah,
I thought so, right?
I'm thinking they have a Monday night game in November. That's my bad.
They only had like one Monday night game.
That's it in Philly.
Yeah, they have like one. The schedule was not the best. Yeah, it's a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, I got it mixed up because I think that was Carson Wentz coming back to Philly.
Yeah,
so that's why they had it.
It's a big game. Yeah, they're not going to put. I mean, they treat Washington like stepchild, which is cool. I'm glad they didn't have a Monday night game. They don't need no primetime games.
No, they don't need it. They need to earn it first.
They need to earn it, man. Like, look, Rivera got to prove that he's actually a good coach. He's been to one Super Bowl. If you look at his record, though, ain't the best. He got to prove that he's a good coach. So,
yep, I agree. Well, Wole, it's been a pleasure having you. And also Wole is a big wrestling fan. Me and him talk
Well,
on the we text message,
yeah,
talk WWE, AEW,
a lot of drama.
TNA.
AEW.
Good Lord. Shout out to Mike Knox. You know what I mean? He's the
Yeah,
guy. He's hilarious on Twitter. Like
yeah.
his takes is like his hot takes are like, what is he talking about this time? It makes you want to just like reply back. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Mike is cause Mike acts like he's an AEW, he's an AEW
Yeah.
dude, but he really a WWF dude.
Oh, of
WWE
course,
dude.
man.
He
He's a
just play it
Roman Reigns
all.
guy, man.
But he know it's better. He know the product of AEW
Oh, of
better.
course.
But when WWE steps up, then he over the top. It's wild, man. It is. But I'll put you on to another. Mike is awesome. There's multiple dudes. My man, Parker, Parker. Parker has an awesome podcast. It's a dope one. So it's called HTTB.
I think I've seen it like on
actually, it's
Twitter.
not just Parker.
Yeah. May have seen it on Twitter.
I think you would like it, man. I think you like it too. I'm gonna put you. I think you like it.
Yeah.
I think you like it.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah, I think you like it, man, because they and Andy, my bad, Andy and Parker, Andy Burrows. I'm sorry, Andy
okay.
and Parker. They both Washington Commander fans too.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm gonna put you on to them. They got a podcast that they do it. It's cool because Andy, you can tell Andy's located up there in London. Andy is more of a I think more of a WWE fan.
Okay.
And Parker is more of an AEW dude. He loves CM
Okay.
Punk. I'm not into CM
No
Punk.
comment on CM Punk. He's out of there, man.
Yeah.
He's out of there.
CM Punk is look, man, I'm a firm believer. And I know we're going off topic, but I'm a firm believer. I think I'm a firm believer of like you are who you are. I think he was dope when he came in. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. Like I'm a wrestling fan, so I appreciate good stuff, man. Like him on the mic, CM Punk on the mic has always been dope. But in terms of that drama he brings on the back end, he consistent. Sorry, he's just consistent. You can defend who you want to defend, man. But when somebody shows you who they are, and you can let them off the hook, that's fine. But when they do it again, regardless, you may try to blame somebody else, but the consistent thing is that he's done this every which way. It may have not been physical, but he's been this problem.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You can deny it. You can ignore it. You can ignore memes. You can ignore videos. Triple H's video when he cut that promo. You can ignore it. And you can try to insult it all you want. Be like, oh, this is Triple H's. Oh, this is a bad comparison. This is a bad comparison. This is a bad usage of this promo. It is what it is. The message is still the same, and whatever. So I think that if they get him out of there, they'll be all right. Because to me, for that promotion, like he ain't a better worker than Kenny Omega. He ain't better than the Bucks. I'm gonna say the only thing that makes him better in terms of draw is that he got the opportunity, and this is the fact. He got the opportunity to be in the WWF, WWE, and then that's what makes him a draw.
Yep.
If he wasn't in the WWE or WWF, if Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks were in the WWE, left there, and they came back to AEW, they would be drawing 10 times more. That's the difference. So when he uses that, I heard him say it when he talked about these kids have never done this, that, and the other. Kenny Omega, it was never about, and anybody who knows this, it was never about the money and the draw. Kenny Omega could have went to the WWE.
He could have, yeah.
Yeah, him and the Bucks. They declined it.
Yep.
They could have went. They've sold out to Tokyo. Like they're good. Like bro, they are a draw. Yeah. They're good. They didn't need the name. They didn't need the WWE to show out. They didn't need it. They did that on their own. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that like just because you was over there and then you came over here and now you feel like you're better than everybody. That's on you, bro. Yep. Like whatever. Like, but that dude is a problem. He's a serious problem. You know what I mean? Because when he called my man, like I don't know the dude, but when he called Hangman out on that stuff, I like Hangman sound like a nice dude. You sound like a nice, and you going at a nice dude. Like that's when I know something wrong with you.
Yeah,
that's when I know something wrong.
And that's the last person you want to make upset, right? The nice people, right?
The nice people, like what?
That's the last people. Yeah,
that's the last people. Like what? And he can't even talk. Like and for like he don't even do that type of stuff. And then the thing that you're mad about And regardless of what the Coke Cabana is, the thing that you're mad about, no, if you would have to be in the dirt sheets to kind of
Yeah.
to understand. Like when I watched that promo, the thing he's mad about, I ain't know what he was talking. I thought it was the good promo. I ain't know what any
You gotta
back
watch.
end story.
You gotta watch the YouTube for that.
You gotta
man.
watch all that stuff. You gotta dissect it.
Mhm.
Dude, MJF went harder at you than him. Like, what is your problem?
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. That's crazy. But definitely gonna, man. We definitely gotta talk wrestling again. I gotta bring back, the friend of the podcast, Mike Knox.
Yeah, bring
talk
it back.
again. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
bring him back. We'll run it back. So,
Yeah.
thanks Wole for coming on. So where if you want to just plug in, all your stuff, so that way.
Oh man, just catch me on Twitter. Just hit my handle is WOLE_USS. If you want to follow the urban sports scene, is at urban sports scene. That's URBANSOPS. Sorry, SPOR. Can't spell SPORTS. Not two S's. This is for the scene. SCENE. Urban sports scene. There's two S's. No, we just made it simple. One S in between that. And also, you can follow all Burgundy and Gold Errrythang on Twitter. It's at ABG_Errrythang. And Errrythang is spelled E, 3 R's, right? YTHING.
Thank you for the clarification, Wole.
I know, man.
Errrythang.
Yeah, Errrythang. I make sure people. It's not because just 3 R's.
Not everything. Errrythang.
Errrythang. Not every. That just didn't sound cool.
I
when was coming up with the title. Well, I was coming up with the title. I was like, how can I make this sound different and let folks know where we come from? And I was like, yeah, all right, let's do this.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Wole, for coming on tonight.
No problem,
hopefully, we'd love to have you on as the season progresses. We'll
Anytime,
definitely
man.
drop it back. So yeah, have a good night, guys.
All right.